Hey, what's up guys? It's Eric here from True Body Fitness, and I think you guys are really going to like this video. It's called When in Doubt, Stick to the Basics, and it's just really kind of understanding all those little situations that you're in and you're not really sure what to do. And I can understand why this can sometimes be confusing, especially with a lot of the information out there with nutrition and what to do and not screwing up. And if you make one screw up, oh my God, you're gonna be fat forever. There's just there's a lot of guessing sometimes, and we tend to think negatively towards our decisions, and it's not good. So this is just to kind of clear up some of the information in your head and make you understand that it's okay, and a little bit more about like different types of situations and what to do about it. So stick to the basics is a big thing for me, because really, guys, there's nothing fancy. Just like a championship football game is no different than a regular season football game. I mean, there's more on the line in the sense of going to the championship, but the game is no different. Yet when most people get into championship situations and fourth quarter situations, for some reason they think differently. And it's the ones that can really calm themselves and understand that nothing has changed, and they kind of resort back to what they know and what they've always been doing. That's the most important thing, and that's the thing that's going to get them the results. So hopefully with that kind of analogy, this kind of rings true with the same things here. So time to stop overthinking it, guys. What should I have pre-workout? What's the best thing to do? And to be honest with you, a normal meal: protein, vegetables, some starchy carbs, and maybe some fat. Oh, Eric, I don't have time for a meal. What do I do? Okay, make a protein shake. Protein powder, spinach, some starchy carbs. Let's go a quarter of a cup of oatmeal. Let's go some fat. Let's go some peanut butter. Boom. Good to go. Maybe we top, and whatever you've decided your macros are going to be in that, your calories, that will be up to you. But it's as easy as that. Nothing really changes. The basic's still there. The foundation is always there. It's just how you make that meal is completely up to you and what's most convenient for you. Post-workout meal. Guys, chicken, veggies, some some rice, some potatoes, some pumpkin. I mean, it's really up to you. It's just another normal meal. So please, please, please don't think that there's something special about these timing and these windows. What we do suggest is that you eat the meal before your workout roughly no more than 2 hours before your workout, and the post workout as well, no more than 2 hours after your training. As long as you kind of fit it in within those two constraints, you're good to go. What to have when you're at a wedding? Whatever they serve you. Just be mindful of the food that you're having and the drinks that you have, and realize that it's not just free calories, and you have to understand that because of that, you want to just be mindful with the food and not overeat things, or maybe when they serve a ton of bread that you maybe only have one piece, or understanding that there's 7 courses to this meal, maybe you opt out of the bread unless bread is something that you thoroughly enjoy. Really, it's just, like I said, it's just being mindful and really understanding that you're okay with the consequences of maybe overeating at this wedding, and maybe you're gonna have to do a little bit more exercise, and you're okay with that. I'd rather do a little bit more exercise on Sunday and Monday, and so on and so forth, so that I can enjoy a bit more of food here at the wedding. So it's just really up to you and what you want to do. And again, there's no bad feelings over it. It was just a wedding. It was just one night. It doesn't mean that if you overate that you're bad now and you can't get back into shape and blah 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 blah. It's just simply not the truth. There's lots you can do, and you really haven't done too much to the body. Traveling on the road all the time. What do I do? Lunch pail works pretty well. I've known that when I'm traveling, I'm definitely bringing my meals, whether it's in a plastic bag or not, depending if you need to or like to keep your meals refrigerated or cold. That would determine what you put it in. And your meals don't change. The protein, veggies, fruit maybe, they tend to be an easier thing to bring along. And some starchy carbs, fats, the usual, guys. There's really nothing over the top different about this stuff. Just think of things that if you're on the road, things that might be a little bit easier. That doesn't mean you go buy processed meats. It just means maybe you eat the meats at a certain time, or like I said, you bring a lunch pail and you don't even have to worry about it. All your meals are good to go. Have a salad, put some tuna on it, put some salmon on it. Make a couple protein shakes, already pre-make them and put them in cups, and you're good to go. Guys, there's lots of situations you just gotta want to make it work in order for it to work. This is a good one. All you can eat resorts for vacation. I always say people really shit the bed on this one, but it's really no different. If anything, it's easier for you because you never have to cook anything. And the fresh fruits, there's tons of different fresh fruits. There's fresh vegetables, cooked meats. I always say avoid going to the pans that are filled with, I guess we could say, the yumminess, but also tons of filled empty calories that, although may taste good because they're filled with lots of sugar and fat and salt, they're not that good for your midsection. And as long as you're mindful, like I said, about what you're choosing to put on your plate and you're not just mindlessly eating, you should be okay. And hey, if you enjoy your stay there, eat healthy most of the time, move around, play some sports, maybe get up early and do some light exercise, whatever really, like I said, floats your boat here. I choose to exercise because I love to exercise. Plus, if I'm eating a bit more, I find I got more energy, so I'm going to go for it. Whatever feels right for you guys and where you're at, that's completely important. But never forget your values, what you've created in your life. Don't go, oh yeah, I'm gonna party hard and forget about eating healthy, and I'm just gonna drink my face off and never have to worry, blah 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 blah. That's not really gonna help you, and you're not gonna really like yourself when you come home from vacation. So just realize that. And again, the word of the presentation seems to be mindful. Traveling for work, airplanes, things like that. Protein bars are pretty solid. Darrow bars work fairly well. There's some other definite protein bars out there. Quest bars are okay. But you can easily bring real food on the airplane with you. You can bring fruit. You can bring chicken. You can bring things that are easy to eat. Shakes you might not be able to. But you can always make things before you go. And I always say find a Whole Foods nearest to your place, and pick up all your meals there. They've got everything that you need, and they're all separated, and you can choose the foods and all that stuff. And plus, I guarantee it'll be cheaper than you going out for dinner and lunch and everything each time. And you'll know exactly what you're getting. But again, be smart, be mindful. Dinner with friends, meetings, but with nothing but bad food. And I say, to be honest with you, most people eat like crap, and they need to go out, get out on your bandwagon with eating better. It's so unfortunate that most people in meetings, they just deliver bad food because they don't know what else to do, and they don't really know, and they're not really a healthy, conscious people. Therefore, they're not really going to care what they bring in. They'll bring in pizza, they'll bring in like sandwiches that got processed crap on it, and they're not willing to spend the money to bring in good, high quality food. Fruits, vegetables, good sources of protein, things that taste good but are also really good for you and are not filled with junk. And if you're having dinner with friends, I mean, bring your own stuff. That's an important one. And just be mindful, don't overeat, and choose what you want to have. It's up to you. You decide what goes in your mouth, not what other people think, or they're not going to decide which foods you have. If they want you to try something, have a little bite of it. Don't overdo it if you don't want to. But again, like I mentioned before, it's up to you. But just remember, guys, in whatever situation you're in, it's okay. I always say here, like in times, ask questions when you know you're going into a situation and you want to have a little bit of input. There's sometimes you won't have, you won't know, and you're gonna have to kind of go out on a whim and make a decision on your own, and just do the best with whatever decision you make. And then come back to me and say, Eric, this is what I did. What are your thoughts? How did I do? What could I have done better? And we just strategize for next time. But always, rule number one is just remember, one bad meal isn't going to destroy you in your results, and one good meal isn't going to make you rip. So just focus on the bigger picture and understand that if you do have a bad meal or you overeat or something, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, and I guarantee you will be fine. You certainly will not blow up. And if you blow up a little bit with the weight, don't use the scale as a good judgment tool, because I'll be honest with you, lots of people eat more sodium when they go to those types of meals. Therefore, they end up putting on a little bit extra load water weight simply because they're eating more carbs and they're eating more salt, and therefore they get a little bloated. The scale is definitely not something important to stand on, and plus a couple days after a cheat or some sort of, eating more than you usually would, it's not a really good representation of what your body is going to be or has done those first couple of days after. You have to really wait for your body to settle, and wait for the sodium to come down, and wait for the water to leave you, and so on and so forth. Then you'll have a much better judgment of what happened on that day, or if you really did overeat a lot and you maybe did gain a little bit of fat, who knows? But don't judge it right after. That's a terrible thing to do. Although I could see why somebody may do it, because they just don't simply know. So guys, I hope this video helped you out. If there's more on the, in this video that sparked your interest of questions, please let me know. I think this video is going to help a lot of you guys out. Just understand, I just got to stick to the basics. I got to trust my intuition. I got to be mindful when I choose things, choose certain foods. And you know what, guys? You know what's healthy. You know what's not healthy. You know how important your goals are to you. And that should be the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking about this is, what would my goals say? What are my goals? What does my plan say? If your goal is to lose fat, then I would highly suggest that, you don't overeat, because calories are going to be a big predictor to that. Or maybe you've planned for this and that this meal is something that you are allowed to have a little bit more calories and food on, and that would be great. That's fine. Just make sure there's always a plan behind things. And hey, if there's not, it's okay. Just try your best and do your best. Thanks so much, and I hope this video helps you guys.